Hey, welcome back. I'm Tom, this is Global Time Traveler. Really glad you're with me today. We got some exciting stuff to talk about today. But first, we'll answer the primary question. For these Erebus watches from erebuswatch.com, are they worth the hype? Are they worth the money? And probably even more importantly, is that Jody a trustworthy fellow? Now, as a former military guy, as I've always said, I believe in bottom line up front. The answer to all three of those questions is an absolute, unequivocal yes. I've corresponded with Jody. He is a forthright, upstanding man of integrity. I really enjoy conversing with him. And though I haven't had any communication with Steven, you don't go into business with someone that isn't similar to yourself in terms of character. So if Jody trusts him and works with him, I believe in him as well. Now, the two watches in question that we're going to talk about today are my Ascent 41s. One is in that mother of pearl and the red helix. Beautiful design on that with a red fume fading out to black at the edge. These are 41 millimeter in diameter, so maybe a little bit large for some wrists. For mine, they're about right. They look big looking down at them. When you put them on the wrist, they're outstanding. Now, Erebus watches from New South Wales in Australia. So Jody and Steven, a few years back, both being watch aficionados and heavy enthusiasts, decided that they would see about producing and marketing their own watches. Now, being highly experienced in the field, they knew exactly what they wanted, and they were able to put together specifications that are superb. They have a line of 3 different models. They have the Erebus Ascent that we're going to talk about today. They have the Erebus Origin, which was their first one, which is a dive watch. I don't have any of those, so I can't really speak to them. And an Erebus Titan, which is an oversized dive watch. Again, I don't have one of those right now, so we're not going to spend any time talking about those. But on the slide, you can see what the models look like. It's erebuswatches.com. Go to their site, check them out, see if any of these are good for you. I will say, I believe they are excellent value, great finishing, quality design, really nice watch. Now, where these are manufactured, I don't know. There's speculation out there in the interworld, but I'm not going to add to that. Suffice it to say, like many watch brands, microbrands, they have found companies to manufacture the case, the crystals, the dials, the hands, bracelets, sourced to third-party movement. In this particular case, Miyota 9015s. They have an assembly point with a watchmaker who puts them together, makes sure everything functions properly, and ship them out to their customers. Now, what I think is different and important to remember is that because these gentlemen are so interested in watches themselves, they know exactly what they're looking for. And they can work with those manufacturers on prototypes to get models that they feel suit the market and suit the criteria that potential customers would be looking for. I myself was looking for nice, sporty GADA type watches that I can wear every day under most any circumstances whatsoever. And I found 2 of them with the Ascent 41s. We'll take a look at them. But before we do that, got a special treat for you today. For what I'm wearing now is my Heinrich Radiance in silver and black. You can see that there. Lovely watch. This is a hand-wound ETA 7001, so Swiss movement inside. 39 millimeter case diameter, and it's got the small seconds at the bottom. Now, I find this watch to be dressier than some of my other ones. I tried to use it at work the other day, and what I did find is that small seconds was kind of hard for me to read. So I wouldn't say that this is great in terms of practicality for what I do for work. However, for you and for more formal occasions or going out semi-formal occasions, that is going to look spectacular. Now, I took it off of the bracelet that was supplied with it, put it on a third-party leather strap, primarily because I need to get that bracelet adjusted to fit. I tried to do it myself, and my fear was that with these meat hooks, I was going to go ahead and strip those screws, and I can't have that. So I'm going to hand it over to my friends at Mr. Quality, who actually have some skill, and they can adjust it for me. So thank you, Mr. Quality. Without further ado, again, thanks to Erebus, thanks to Wolfgang, thanks to Mr. Quality for covering up some of my many shortcomings. All right, let's take a look at the watches. Thanks again for being here. Welcome back. Here's the two Ascent 41s that we're going to take a look at. Here's some of the specifications. It's just under 41 millimeters in diameter. Lug to lug is about 47, lug width 20 millimeters, so you can swap it out very, very easily for a different strap if you wanted to. The crown is 6.3, so very easy to manipulate. The movement, the Miyota 9015, is a very smooth operating movement. It is a screw-in crown with a screwed-on case back, so water resistance is 100 meters, which is very good for that sporty, go-anywhere, do-anything type of watch. It does have a double-domed sapphire crown with BGW 9 Super Luminova on both the hands and the indices. So let's take a nice close look at this mother of pearl. See with the different angles and the different light, those various reflections change the colors in that mother of pearl. Absolutely gorgeous, in my opinion. I love where you see the blues and the silvers and the pinks and the purples. Just magnificent. Now on this one, it does have a color matched date wheel at the 6 o'clock position, which blends in nicely, doesn't throw off the symmetry. It has applied indices at each 5-minute and hour position with Super Luminova, as we talked about. Now what you will see on these is with the applied indices, they're filled with lume. They are laser cut and faceted. Again, nice reflections with the light to aid the legibility and obviously aid in the design as well. Now looking at these two watches, you can see immediately there are two different styles of bracelet. The mother of pearl is on what they call the O bracelet, where the red helix is on the J bracelet. The O bracelet, being similar to an oyster, is a 3-link. It's durable, fully brushed, articulates nicely, and fits very nicely on the wrist. It has a deployment clasp on the back with micro adjustment inside. Folds nicely with a nice click. Now the case itself is a mix of brushed and polished elements. You can see the bezel itself is highly polished. There's some brushing on the end links and some polishing on the sides. A nice signed crown as well. It does have a solid case back, so you cannot see the Miyota movement, but it has a nicely embossed logo of the company. And speaking of the logo, to me, what's a very, very nice feature is the applied logo at the 12 o'clock position. You can see the E and the B for Erebus are two separate elements, and they are very perfectly and nicely aligned. And to me, when I look at that in certain lights, it looks almost like it's liquid metal. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, the red helix, as we said, comes on the J style bracelet. So it is a 5-link, similar to a Jubilee. This one is a little bit dressier. Again, because the links are smaller, a little bit more articulation from it. Very similar in terms of the clasp operation and the micro adjust that's available, and the nice solid click as it fits back in together. Looking at this one, you can see the pattern of the red helix in there. The actual mechanization as to how they set that, I really don't know. I don't know if it is pressed or if it is a guilloche engraving. I can't really tell. But it is beautiful. At a distance, depending on the light source, it can appear kind of a flat color. It can appear very dark. But as you're in the bright light, it shows off that fume coloration very, very nicely. As you can see, case back, all of the various elements are the same as we saw in the mother of pearl. So for me, to summarize on this one, this is a seriously good go anywhere, do anything watch. If you go to their website, erebuswatches.com, they have multiple sizes, They have multiple dial colors. They have the 2 different bracelets. So your options, the different permutations that you can get from these watches is outstanding. I'm not a big one for, as Jody says, moans and niggles, but the only thing that I had is the automatic rotor on the Miyota is a little bit loud under certain circumstances. You can hear it. Some people like that. Some people don't. Personally, it doesn't bother me. I don't care one way or another. If I can hear it, if I can't hear it, that's fine. As long as it's operating and it serves the needs that I have in my watches. If all of that is good, I am one happy camper. I do feel that the Miyota movement is outstanding. It is a good, solid workhorse. It is the foundation of lots of different micro brands that are out there and available. That 9,000 movement operating at 4 hertz is spectacular, in my opinion. It is not a demonstration exhibition movement. You're not going to compare this to some of the major brands and some of the very, very refined and highly decorated movements. But it's reliable, it works great, it keeps very, very good time. Both of these are under 10 seconds a day on the time grapher, and I couldn't be happier with it. So for me, good finishing, good quality control, nice designs, lots of options, sporty, 100 meters water resistance. I don't think for the money you can find a better watch. You may find one that you prefer, but in terms of objective analysis of which is a better watch, I think this holds its own with any watch that is out there. So my challenge would be find a better watch for that price. I think you're going to struggle with that. All right, I hope you enjoyed those watches. Thanks again for being here. Let me show you a couple of new additions to my collection. I recently got a Zelos Helica with a Kia shade dial. Beautiful in salmon. Has an automatic movement inside, comes on a bracelet. Very, very pleased with that watch. I also got recently a Zelos Comet. Now this model has been discontinued. I corresponded with them and they said that they had one stuffed away in a drawer. And would I like it? And of course, being me, I said, yes, send it to me. So the Comet is a hand-wound watch. You can see there it's got a gold-infused carbon dial, exhibition case back, where you can see the hand-wound movement. This comes on a leather strap, 39 millimeter. Very, very pleased with these 2 watches. I also have a couple of new pieces that are a little bit more dressy. The first is a Henry Archer. I'm going to do a video on this one very, very shortly, hopefully next week. This one is called a Timeline. I am not going to butcher the word in Danish. I'm not even going to try. The English translation is Timeline. As you can see, it's got a bicompact sub-registers on there. One shows the month, one shows the day of the week, and it has the date at the 6 o'clock position. So this is a triple calendar, if you will. Really like the finishing. It's a little bit more than the Erebus, but I find the finishing on this and the quality and the details to be absolutely magnificent. On that same note, I also have a Wise Damascus 89. This one has PVD rose gold surfacing on it. And this watch with the enamel dial, I think is just gorgeous. Now, I usually go for a color coordinated date wheel. In this particular instance, with a white date wheel, I think that fits in well with the indices and gives the overall watch a really nice balanced look. I'm very pleased with both of these watches. Again, Henry Archer and Wise. Back to the land of Oz, I also received my second hour. This one is the Mandala Mark III. Similar to the Zelos Helica, this one also has a CNC Gia shade dial. This one is in that sky blue or ocean blue or baby blue, or don't say the T word, or some companies may get litigious about that. But just an absolutely beautiful watch. So thank you to Peter and Akira from Second Hour Watches in Melbourne, Australia. And finally, I've also got a pair of Type B Flieger watches, pilot watches. And these ones are both terrific. One is a Wise and one is a Zelos. Let's take a look at the Zelos first, very quickly. In that nice sunburst blue pattern. I'm going to do a segment on pilot watches very, very soon. And we'll talk about traditional three hands as well as the Type Bs and the Type As. This one has a Leger Perret movement in it, and if you look on the back, the rotor for the automatic movement has a turbine look to it, like the fan blades at the face of a jet engine. Nice touch. Now the Wise, with its Miyota movement, has just a solid case back on it. I really like the colors between them. Kind of the burgundy outer ring, and then the gray on the inside. And the gray changes kind of colors based on the viewing angle and the light source for it. Very, very pleased with both of these watches. I find them to be highly legible, meet the criteria that I'm looking for in a flying watch. And again, we'll talk about that in an upcoming video, what some of that criteria is, in my opinion, for what makes it a good flyer's watch. All right, thanks for being here today. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. We saw the Erebus watches, looked at those to some level of detail. And as we said at the beginning, double thumbs up to Jody, Steven, and Erebus watches. Give them a check. We've got new videos coming on the horizon. Should be forthcoming in the next week to 2 weeks. I hope you'll stick around and join me for those. And until then, be good, be happy, be healthy, and we'll see you again next time. Take care.